CHATS here at Smithy TV in downtown Toronto with Mark Zimmerman, the owner of Legends Gallery of Fine Art Photography. What inspired you to get into the gallery business?
Well, about 8 years ago, I was in New York, in Soho, and I saw a beautiful music photography gallery then, and I saw the huge potential in it. I then tried to acquire the rights to this sort of gallery for Toronto, came very, very close, and the 11th hour it sort of fell apart. I then got involved in theater and ended up producing Menopause Out Loud in Toronto for a few years on behalf of the licensed right holders. And then when that was finished, I read an article about going back to your roots, going back to your passion, and I'm going, yeah, my music is my passion and entertainment's my passion. So I resurrected the idea of opening up a gallery from 8 years before, and then proceeded to acquire the rights to photographers all over the world, and that all led to Legends Gallery of Fine Art Photography. But instead of just wanting to be music, I wanted to be all things in pop culture. So in the gallery you will see limited editions of music, fine art photography of music, history, fashion, and film.
How do you acquire your different photographs?
It's really all through relationships and seeking out the best photographers in the world who had these personal, close relationships with the artists back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
And how do you go about choosing the photographs? Is it anything that jumps out at you, or are you looking for something that tells a story? What really makes the final decision?
Well, it's a little bit of all of that. I'm looking for the most famous icons in those genres, and in seeking those out, looking for the closest photograph that best represents them, that's up close and personal, very intimate, very rare. So I'm looking for very rare photographs that each one tells a story.
Can you tell me about a few of the photographs that stand out most for you? When we were at the gallery, you were showing me some with Mick Jagger, Faye Dunaway, and maybe go into a little bit of details to the stories.
Sure. Well, in the gallery, there's one shot of Faye Dunaway. It's beautiful. She's sitting in a lounge chair outside the Beverly Hills pool, and she has the Oscar on her table. This is the morning after the night before, when she won for Best Actress for the movie Network. And she's still wearing her stilettos, and you can see the dazed expression on her face, and it just captures the moment and what a victory of winning an Academy Award and the effect it can have on a person. And that particular photograph is an AP, which stands for an artist's proof, and it's the very first picture developed from the negative taken. Another beautiful photograph that we have is really the backside of Mick Jagger, shirtless. The Rolling Stones had just finished playing to 100,000 people at Anaheim Stadium. They gave them a rounding standing ovation for about 15 minutes. And as a way to give back that energy, Mick started to dance all over the stage and threw off his shirt. And Lynn Goldsmith, who was the photographer, said, "Mick, can I take your picture?" He said, "Yeah." And it's a gorgeous shot of him, his hands over the head, almost bowing to the crowd. We have the very last publicly shown photograph of Winston Churchill leaving the hospital at the age of 87. They had made him a custom wheelchair. He has his hat, he has his token cigar, and as I said, it's the very last public photograph of him. Another very rare photograph that we have is Christian Dior. I never knew what he looked like. It's 1959, and he is preparing a model for a runway fashion show in Paris. And it's just a timeless piece. You see the fashions, you see the accessories that were going back to the time, and it's a classic Dior red dress.
What stands out in the photo of Barbra Streisand that you have?
Oh, the one we have with Barbara is her at home. She had just won again an Oscar for the Best Song of the Year, Evergreen, from the movie A Star is Born. And again, I mean, you know, you're in her home, and you're seeing her home, you're seeing her library, you're seeing how proud she is holding her Oscar. And it's a very intimate moment, and it makes it very special.
And tell me a bit about the photo of JFK you have as well.
Well, we have JFK at his 45th birthday at Madison Square Gardens. And in the gallery, we had Marilyn Monroe, who was singing, of course, Happy Birthday, Mr. President, right next to him. Someone, of course, bought it, so he's now alone. But what makes it so rare and special is that she was then, she passed away 6 months later, and JFK was killed a year later. So this was really his last major celebration at Madison Square Gardens.
What is the importance of photography in terms of being something to invest in?
Well, I think it's really a win-win because you get to have in your home something that you love. I think there's an emotional connection to every photograph for every collector or a fan. So if someone, let's say, is a huge Beatles fan, they get to live with a very rare and intimate shot of the Beatles, signed by either the photographer or the artist themselves. And each photograph is in a limited edition. So if it's, let's say, number 2 of 50, you can be rest assured that there's only 50 of those photographs in the world. So once that edition sells out, that's all there are. So when either the photographer passes away or in the case of an artist, it only appreciates in value. So you get to enjoy something, make it a topic of conversation with friends and guests in your home, live with it, enjoy it, and also have it appreciate in value.
Why photography for you? Why not, painting or another medium? What makes photography stand out from the others?
Well, I think what I love about photography is that it truly makes time stand still. So it's a snapshot of someone's life or even your life. The beautiful thing about our gallery is when everyone comes through it, they see their life flashing in front of them if they're in their 50s or 60s, because it really does reflect the best of pop culture in the last 50, 60 years.
You mentioned earlier that you carry 4 different categories of photographs. Can you give me some examples of photographs you have in each?
Sure. In music, we have everything from Beatles to Bono, Jimi Hendrix to Bob Dylan. In film, we have Paul Newman, Lee Marvin, Steve McQueen, Frank Sinatra. And in fashion, we have Christian Dior to Vogue, Vanity Fair. And in history, we have, as you mentioned, JFK, Churchill, Jackie Onassis, Bobby Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe, icons of that era.
How much fun do you have when you're looking for the photographs to get the rights for?
Well, it's a lot of fun. You're looking for that special something, that special photograph that really you feel will resonate with someone, and you're looking for that intimate photograph that will tell an amazing story.
And do you just go based on a gut instinct? Do certain photographs just pop out, and why might they do that?
Yeah, they certainly do. Depending on who it is and the story behind it, if this is a shot that's never been publicly seen before, or a rare shot of them at home or in another intimate setting, these are things that really make it very special. And something that I really go by my gut feel for.
And what types of, do you have any events going on at the gallery? I know you had a little competition going on where we could win a gift. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, right now, from now until Christmas, we are playing the Legends game in the gallery, and basically it's a very easy contest. You come in, you identify 10 legends hanging on the wall, and we have over 75, and you fill it all out, and you enter to win a $1,000 shopping spree at Legends. So it's a lot of fun.
And tell me the exact address so we know exactly where to go.
Okay, so we're at 87 Yorkville Avenue. It's about a block and a half west of Bay, and we're on the lower level. And if anyone is coming by, they just have to watch out for the red carpet or look out for it.
And where's the best place to find out more information on the gallery online?
Okay, online we have a wonderful website, legendsgallery.ca. And I'd just like to reiterate that in our gallery itself, we only have about 75 photographs, but online we have hundreds. So it's just a small sampling of what we have the rights to and what we can acquire. So if someone happens to be a huge Bo Diddley fan and we don't happen to have it in our gallery, they can look for it online.
Thank you so much. Congratulations on having such an amazing gallery that everyone can relate to. And I look forward to hearing more about it in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here at Smithy TV in downtown Toronto.